Apparently, I think my Twitter community caused some issues. I would like to say the Gacha police is their own thing. I don't frequent in there. I just have 22,000 people that I plug my going live ping to. So it is not my fault. Those are just people who flock around me. I have told them to calm down. However, you know, they will do what they want. However, I believe that my community on Twitter has caused something bad to happen, but I'm not sure. Let's find out.
And welcome back to another video by yours truly. Apparently a clip of me is on Twitter, currently at 500,000 views about me talking about Cantarella's insane boobs. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually me talking about how fast she's swimming in the water. I like how they integrated her swimming into her Kit's Forte circuit, into flight mode. It's a bit of a paywall behind QOL exploration.
Sure.
It's exclusive to this character. And
now I will say, I don't know what this video is about. Why the fuck we freaking out about swim speed when we can just fly? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know who's tweaking this hard, but it's like, brother, just fly. Like, I don't even, chat, I mean this generally, when was the last time y'all were swimming in Wuthering waves? Like, I don't know if your ass is Gandalf and you're like, fly, you fools, but nobody is swimming.
And in this clip, I pretty much like kind of loosely go over it. I'm actually tipsy, to be honest, and I'm in the middle of a live stream, you know, hype is having a good time with my chat. And this is probably the dangers of the internet that people need to always carefully consider, especially content creators, doubly so, to always be aware of what you're saying, carefully curate your words, because people can take them, upload them, and then take you out of context and so on and so forth. Now, I want to be clear here. No smoke is being blown up my ass about this. Really, literally none, actually. But it has gained some traction, and I don't really.
Dude, Mr. Pokey needs to watch this video and understand that this is how you handle when a Twitter post blows up. God, I love Smack so much. It's this dude, I want to make it sure. Mr. Pokey has crashed out over 1 like tweets. Gacha Smack has 500,000 hate posts and bro doesn't even care. And that's because Twitter does not matter, brother. Twitter does not matter. Man, I love this dude.
Really like the idea of something I said I wasn't intending to like go past my own community being weaponized, because I do have a lot of apparently weight to my words in this community. Like, people, if I say some stuff, people are gonna go and chirp it or use it as a representation of the gold standard of things and shit. It's insane, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that's annoying, but yeah, Smack is very well respected and looked up to in this community, which I think he's deserved every bit of praise that he's gotten. I feel like he is another great representation of what the Gacha community should be, and I think, you know, it might not make sense to him, but I think everybody else who's not him understands that there's a reason why people listen to him. I think he's a great, outspoken individual, and I think he knows what he's talking about.
Annoying, but yeah, I saw this and I was like, okay, so, and I didn't know, by the way, it was 2 days ago. And I was like, okay, let me go ahead and set the record here and share my full opinion, not an opinion of a clip in the middle of a live stream where I'm not able to really like go in on the substance of it.
Yeah, of course.
And so I did. On Twitter here, we're sitting here looking at this post, which is, by the way, D'Anthony Potts, if you're watching this video, I'm very well aware that you're a viewer of mine. You have been for a while. You're a viewer of Tectone's, and you're a cool guy. I am not in any capacity making this video to like throw pot shots at you. In fact, I find it kind of hilarious.
Thank God, because I like D'Anthony Potts too. You know, I know his ass too. He makes hundreds of posts. He's in all of my streams. I like the guy too. He's got a good head on his shoulders. I'll be real, man. I think low key, he's just farming. I think he's just farming.
You said I want to sow a bit of chaos. Well, you sowed a bit of chaos here, bro.
Yeah. 500,000 views is insane.
Hilarious, man.
Look at that shit, bro. 427,000. That's nuts.
I responded to it after it was brought to my attention. And I said, apparently this clip of me is being used to represent people's discontent with paywalls of exploration. I had no earthly clue either. And I put a laughing emoji. I said my opinion on it. I never support any form of exclusive exploration QOL being given to a character in a gacha game. And we'll elaborate on that in a bit. That said, so long as flight exists, it really ain't that deep in Wuthering Waves. Y'all need to relax.
Yeah, it's really crazy how people are like, well, you said this in Genshin Impact. Okay. So I want everybody to go ahead and tell me what is the fastest method of traversal in Genshin Impact. Anybody know? Anybody know what the fast method of traversal is? Fast traveling, teleporting. Yep. Now, outside of that, what do we got? The word is C6 Malvika. Yep. Or newly added Varisa. Varisa E1, actually. Varisa E1. Now, what's the fastest method of traveling in Wuthering Waves. Teleporting. Fast traveling. What's the second fastest? The fucking glider. C1 Varisa, $600. C6 Malvika, $2,100. Wings and Wuthering Waves, $0. People freaking out over this shit are so fucking dumb, it's insane. And they want to say, yeah, you're going to give Genshin a hard time when it does this, but when Wuthering Waves don't that, suddenly you're blind. Shut the fuck up, bro. It's so different. And also, by the way, I will make this very clear. Even though flying is much faster in Wuthering Waves, shout out to Venti, I still have been going after the company for 3 months about them needing to add those same gliders to version 1.0. They do. They do. Every survey, add flying, remove tuners. It's really that easy.
Now, if they add a whole ass water region, then,
Sure.
well, all of a sudden that QOL that's minuscule right now becomes, well, paramount.
Yep.
But that's something worth exploring and talking about in this video as well. So here's the thing, guys. I see both sides of the equation. On one end of the spectrum, I see where people are going, guys, can we relax? It's the smallest pint of power creep and exploration. Why are y'all like making such a big deal out?
I think Peebs is way worse. I do. I think Peebs is way worse. I'll be real about it. If you have a Peeb and you go back to explore in 1.0, oh my God, it's so broken.
Out of this. I do get that. That's why I said you guys need to relax. But on the other end of the spectrum, guys, should you be faulting people? Should you be defending against people being mad at this in a gacha game? First of all, let's go ahead and make sure we assess that this is in fact a gacha game, the worst genre in the industry, the most predatory FOMO-induced genre in the industry.
True.
Can we at least acknowledge that these prices are fucking egregious?
Absolutely.
Right? That's why it's a problem. Can we at least go over the problems of why people have a right to be upset?
Absolutely.
I don't give a damn how much of a small little baby step they've taken towards this exploration power creep. Drawing a line, there's a reason for that, right? You got a friend and he's flirting with your girl and you don't draw a line. Well, then you might catch him grabbing your girl's ass. You don't draw a line, you might catch him in the bed, right? Lines have to be drawn to set certain barriers and structures and limitations so that things don't get out of fucking hand. So when you see these prices in this shop, nobody bats an eye. Nobody says anything about this because your brain's cooked. It's been normalized already. And you accept the fact that these prices are, well, they're okay now. And they're not
fucking nuts.
In fact, if you took this price and cut it in half, it'd still be too fucking expensive.
Yep.
But that's a conversation for another day.
My gotcha brain was like, well, actually, if they cut it in half, it's actually a pretty good deal. That's how fucked up my brain is. Because then it would only cost 150 instead of 300. And then you're like, wait a minute. Oh, God.
It's okay for people to be mad if we bring up this and we see that, oh, I'm not guaranteed to win this.
Hey, you know what's crazy, chat? You know what's crazy, chat? You're the same way and you know it. You're the same way. You're the same way. You're the same way and you know it.
Only a 50-50 chance to win this character. And then you look at the banner and you say, oh, he's got his weapon in his hand. But if when I acquire him, he's not going to have that weapon. No. So you might as well take that weapon off of this as a promotion and put a fucking dual blade right there because he doesn't come with anything. It's a problem when you see that they're selling the weapon as well with those prices in the shop. It's a problem when you realize the resource acquisition isn't enough to secure one of these characters in a patch. You guys have to understand that it's a slippery fucking slope in the gacha space in particular because of all the garbage that already exists inside of these games that we have enabled as consumers. And so if somebody wants to blow smoke up Kudo's ass and say, hey, motherfucker, y'all already got too many things going on in this game that are predatory, that are FOMO induced, that are insanely greedy in terms of monetary incentives. I don't give a damn if it's a micro step. It's a micro step in the wrong direction, and we've already gone 10 steps past the wrong direction. You see, there's a saying out there, to take, the journey upon taking 1,000 miles begins with a singular step. A singular step repeated over and over can eventually amount to 1,000 miles. Now, in some regards, you can take that as a positive philosophy, but in other regards, you can take it as a negative philosophy. I say this all the time, but if you want to take over the world or if you want to change a company in a direction that you think people may not agree with, well, you just do it one micro step at a time, and then they won't notice that the change has already occurred, and they won't notice they're already in deep fucking waters. You have to be careful, guys, with these small steps being taken because they are indeed slippery slopes that can eventually turn the game into a direction that's unhealthy. And so I have zero problem for smoke being blown up their ass about this because guess what? Bare minimum, the smoke being blown up their ass could cause them to give everybody these swimming capabilities. And now, guess what? Everybody's swimming fast and everybody's getting out of the fucking water with a heavy attack and flying into the air. It doesn't matter. Okay, that it's insignificant. I've seen you guys' thought process. Who's swimming? We have flight.
I think the only argument that can be made against this is that when we focus on the things that don't matter as much, we allow Kuro to get away with changing the things that we do really want. And I think people are more focused on wanting to get gliders enabled everywhere and get tutors removed rather than make every character swim faster. So I think that's why some people are like, guys, let's worry about that when it's necessary. Right now, it's not necessary. But that being said, preventative measures are good, but I think we just want to make sure Kuro's allocating their resources into figuring out how to move tutors and get gliding enabled in 1.0 and stop hiding behind the bullshit excuse. Well, there's actually lore reasons why they can't use gliders there, Techie.
Same exact thought processes, guys. Doesn't matter when you realize all the things that already exist, okay? And that's important to establish. I'm not here to really defend something so insignificant. I'm here to bring awareness to you guys not turning into the fucking Genshin community. Do not turn into the Genshin community where you're sitting here praising at the end of the day a gacha company whose singular goal is to make a bunch of goddamn money. Okay, that's important. I want to make sure we're understood. We're on the same page. Now, I did see Tectone literally tagged me in this upload right here, and his opinion was one of the opinions I actually respected, which I'm happy about. I don't feel like hopping in a fucking call with Tech, but what I liked about what he said here is he acknowledged, first of all, that flight needs to exist in the other regions to ensure that this doesn't escalate. But he also acknowledged that he had zero problems with people having an issue with this because Tech understands the slippery slope. And that's important to grasp here, guys. And he also acknowledged that he don't give a fuck about it. He loves the game, and that's not something that personally is going to deter him from playing it. You know what? That's okay too. But what's not okay is people going, hey, you're not allowed to draw a line in this already predatory practice. That's not okay, man. It's really not. The last thing I want to mention is that I was a bit irresponsible on stream, getting tipsy in an event that's significant as a live stream. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be drinking, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I make zero excuses. One thing about me is I'm actually very responsible with how I handle my alcohol, and so I'm fully cognitive of the things that I'm saying. Honestly, it was really more so of I was hyped the hell up and having a good time with my community. And once again, I didn't even expect this to blow up the way it did.
True.
Because that is at the end of the day a pretty small problem, you know?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
Last thing I want to talk to you guys
it blew up way more than anticipated.
about. There's a guy down here.
Oh, these two f***ing devs, cringy as shit. Bring back Solon and Dong. Way better.
That just put something 39 minutes ago. Flight doesn't exist in Wuwa. It exists in locked regions. Although this is a bit extreme, technically it's true right now. Until they add it to the other regions, it's true, right? And we've given the feedback numerous times in our little surveys. So they have yet to address it. So, hey, man.
You can grapple into flight out of water with any character, not quality of life. Yeah, they're saying the swimming speed. Everybody knows that you can grapple out of water. It's not hard. We've all been doing that since day one. Right, they're talking about the swimming speed.
It is true. If it actually was in the game, then
good news is we'll probably be getting a jet ski gadget anytime now. For sure. Jet ski will be coming anytime. You know, grapple, flight, dive bomb, jet ski. It'll be great.
would still matter. However, just like
and then once you hit the ground, you get into your Lamborghini. It'll be great.
cast global passive, slippery slope. This is also a slippery slope. When do we get the unit that makes flight combat capable? Wait, we have it. When do we get a unit that makes flight faster and have more duration? When do we get game content that these movement mechanics trivialize while everyone has to do the Olympic Games? Wait, she does that already. We're just gonna ignore reality until it's too late again, like HSR. Once again, I understand if anybody's reading that, like, okay, this guy needs to relax, right? He's PTSD from Hoyo. Fellas, you have to acknowledge though that Kudo Games smells Hoyo's asshole all the time. They do. So many of the elements that exist in their games are derivative from Hoyo. And so it's fair concerns. And there's no reason for you guys to defend a billion-dollar gacha company at this point, like it's your fucking girlfriend.
So I agree with that. The reason why people are upset and why people are getting so angry at Cantarella is because there's a lot of Genshin players who are trying to make the Wuwa community feel like their game is no different than Genshin. And that's really pissing people the fuck off because they're like, yeah, dude, look at that. You got Cantarella swimming speed. Look at that. It's the new Genshin Impact. And it's just like, bro, It is so far away from that. It's fucking insane. But people were like, oh yeah, you see, now we're both hypocrites. Shut the fuck up. You know, like that's why people are really upset, is because they're doing this whataboutism. Like, what about this? What about that? You see, Genshin and Wuthering waves aren't so different. And it's like, well, I can explain this to you, but me having to explain it to you would confirm my worries, which is you're just fucking retarded.
These are consumers defending consumer experiences, and there's nothing wrong with that. Never, ever, ever should you find yourself on the other side of the fence. If you do, you are a fucking shill. Key here is in a gacha game. It's a fine line. I love units having different movement options. It makes the game better, but being that there's money involved, it makes things a bit weird. Exactly. Gacha game. Okay, the $100 price point in the top-up shot. I don't like gacha monetization, but more importantly, I want the game to be fun. So now there's a lot of people that can broad stroke this shit as, well, you're inside of a gacha game, there's gonna be gacha stuff. Too broad of a stroke.
Sure.
That's why I said there has to be lines drawn. True, you got to expect monetary incentives inside of a gacha game, but to what extent? Finally, Smack cleared the air. I guarantee that people who think this is equal to what Genshin is doing, especially in Natlan, don't even play the game and just want to stir up controversy. You know what? I'm sure there's a lot of little shit stirs in there too. Just
absolutely.
Hop on the
That's what people are upset about. There's a lot of shit stirs. A lot.
Maybe I should address that. I understand you guys' defense as well, because you've been dealing with these dipshits since the launch of Wuthering Waves.
Of course.
And so you know what?
Genshin players want Wuwa to be the new Genshin so bad.
I acknowledge why you get defensive, because you're enjoying
I'm glad you acknowledge that.
And you got these other people who are looking at any singular opening to get in there and be like, haha, Wuwa sucks. Fair. 100% agree it's there, but it's no big deal. Flight is infinitely better in Renacita. For 1.0, I don't know. Hopefully they implement it soon. But see, key word, it's better in Renacita, but will it be better in the next region? What if the next region is a water region? Almost forgot about that. So what if the next region is a region where you're pretty much fighting inside of the water, or like...
Well, I will be real. I think they designed Renacita with flight in mind. If they do make a new region that is water-based, I'm sure they're going to give us like a fucking bubble jet or like an aquarium fucking car. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what they did for the air region. But that's just me giving them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, they'll just give us that. Because like even in Renacita, like the water zone, they gave us a boat immediately. Like the moment that there was a lot of water, boat. Immediate boat. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are people stressed about Cancerella swimming that fast when it's like, bro, just get in your boat, right? And like, what other zone are you using Cancerella to swim in? I have no idea. I have no idea.
Majority of the traversal is inside of the water, and flight doesn't exist. Ooh. Now, you guys are giving Kudo the benefit of the doubt because they've been cooking better than...
You can't boat anywhere, though? Yeah, but anywhere important that you need to boat to, you can boat to. Everywhere else, you can fly.
Hoyo has been cooking, but that doesn't mean that Kudo is all of a sudden not a gacha company, right?
Absolutely.
I'll give them the benefit of the...
A lot of people always like overpraise Kuro games. Like, oh, well, look at this, man, look at this. This is so cool, man. Oh my God, Genshin could never. But it's like, it's still a gacha game. Now, that being said, of the gacha games, it's great, but it's still a gacha game.
Doubt for now, but I hope, and then, you know what? I don't even have to read anymore. We can end it off with this. You guys are already thinking, oh, they'll just give us a gadget to 1-to-1 how fast she's swimming. Oh, they'll do the right thing. I told y'all before, never, ever trust a fucking gacha company. However, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. All that I ask from you is that if they don't do it, you better not turn into a little bitch and not hold yourself accountable. If they don't do it. If they do it, we all have to get on this internet and say, hell, Kudo Games. Hell, Kudo Games. All right, man, that's going to wrap it up, boys. Thanks for watching.
Absolutely fair.
No drama, no hostility, bro. Just a good conversation, a healthy discussion with an effort to improve this space. Thanks for watching again. I'll catch you guys on the flip.
Great video. My tweet made Gacha Smack crash out. Oh, man.